Tonight on Superman Muscles Live, David Corenswet spotted in Mexico for another shoot, not covered up and showing off those Superman muscles and that Superman hair. Zack Snyder talks about continuing his DC story in animation, as well as something controversial when it comes to Rebel Moon. Box office, we had Civil War come out this weekend, which, you know what? A24 film. Wasn't going to get a lot, but I think audiences came out, and Warner Brothers, well, they crossed a milestone. Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, CinemaCon, didn't really do too much talking about it, but Kevin Feige, I don't know, there's something that's going on with Kevin Feige where it's like, course correction, possibly. All that and so much more tonight on Film Junkee Live. That's right, guys. We're back here. We're grown men on the internet, are going to be arguing about another man's physique, even though they probably don't work out themselves. You gotta love it.
Right shot! Now you want to get nuts! Come on! Let's get nuts.
Let's do it, folks. Sorry I'm late. It happens. Sorry, I was just making sure everything was looking good, and I was having a little bit of a, technical issue. Hopefully this time, and I apologize, guys, when it came to Wednesday's stream. For some reason, that stream just cut off like 30 minutes in. Not sure exactly what happened. And then, of course, I got the Giants game right now, and it's very dramatic. A lot of distractions happening right now, folks, but hopefully you guys are doing good. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that like thumbs up, share, do all that, everything. If you want to become a member, support the channel, you could become a member. We do a members only stream after every Wednesday stream, even though that didn't happen last week because I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly what happened when it came to technology then. I was just making sure everything was dialed in right now. So, yeah, fashionably late for sure. So I apologize for that, guys, but thank you, of course, for, hey, it's the end of Monday, Monday, someone's got a case of the Mondays. I think I might have a case of the Mondays. So, all right, we got Anthony right here. Anthony Ortiz, what's going on? Flexing those muscles. He's jacked. Ryan, yeah, we're going to be talking about Corenswet finally showing off that physique, right? Finally, I could see a distinct difference between Corenswet and Cavill. Ear wideness. Interesting, okay. What's going on, Shane? The Big Dave energy. There you go. Got to put that on a shirt, I think. Hola! What's going on, Manalo? Good to see ya. Good to see you. We got a hoy hoy, Mr. Jason McKenzie. Always great to see you, sir. Vodka stream was excellent. Thor, yeah, no. Yeah, got to get him back on. Yeah, if you guys didn't catch the Vodka stream this past Friday, had Thor Nye on there, who, of course, shows up in Rebel Moon, and it was just great to talk to him. Really just energetic and awesome dude. Really enjoyed talking to him. We had a great conversation, so go check that out if you haven't already. We got the Black Red right here, everybody. Yes, of course, I was a little late. Sorry, a little late. Yeah, I was like 10 minutes late. Sorry. It's all good. It's all good. What's going on, Jason? Mr. Fear Jason right there. We got Steph. What's happening? Is this live? Well, it is live now, for sure. Listening to music for the next project. Its idea was so big, we decided to do a Dead Reckoning situation. Interesting. Part 1 and Part 2, huh? What's going on, Mr. Eric Patterson? We got Black Red also saying, let them argue. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I guess we got to do that. We got Skate and Geek Out. Hey, Dave, you see Henry Cavill on Kimmel last week? It was a hilarious interview. I actually didn't watch the interview, but I know he was on there, so. Yeah. And Cavill, oh yeah, there's something about Cavill too. Ooh, buddy. If you guys didn't know, but yeah, there's something that's going on that's going on with Cavill when it comes to. Sorry, I'm making sure I got my notes and everything here. But yeah, there's something that's going on with Cavill. What's going on, Antonio Baker? Netflix ain't no different than what they claim to be. They screwed Zack way before they knew Edgar. They just announced. There's that whole thing, yeah. Well, let's face it, Netflix, yeah, does any studio know what the hell they're doing? I don't think any studio knows. It just seems like, I don't know. You got a bunch of like old timers and people that are trying to figure out exactly what to do when it comes to these studios. What's going on? Taladia Plays. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We got Justin right here. Hey, that's right. I saw Justin, Mr. DJ right here. I saw him on Thursday, so that was good. Great seeing you. We got Ariel right here. Good evening, Mr. Penny. What's up? Well, hey, it's Monday. The Giants, it's like, Jesus Christ, you don't know how dramatic this game is happening right now. So the Giants are playing the the Miami Marlins. Sorry, I still say Florida Marlins because, I remember growing up when they were an expansion team. The count is 3-2, bottom of the ninth. The Giants are up 4-3, 2 outs. This is intense. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, shit, base hit. Oh, no. What the hell? See? This is why I love baseball. I love baseball because it's like just one pitch. It's like, all right, now one swing of the bat could be a walk-off for the Marlins. Jesus. Anyways, that's what's so crazy about this. That's what I love about baseball. We got Miss Stephanie T right here. Always great to see ya. Yo, what's going on, John G? It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. Glad to see you. Glad to see you right there. So, no, here we go. Come on. Jeez. I know. I'm going to be, I'm trying not to be too distracted here, guys. But, it's baseball season, which I love. I love baseball season. But, yeah, I'm just like sitting here going, this game has been dramatic. And, again, part of the reason why I'm late, because I got distracted. There was something that happened in the last inning. 2 strikes. All right. Sorry, guys. I get into it, especially since I know the Giants are probably not going to do anything this year. So every little win counts. Strike him out, Duvall. Strike him out. But yeah, that's why I was there was some drama that happened in the previous inning. So that also distracted me too. So there's just, what are you doing? Jeez. Who knows? I don't know. Sadly, the Giants closer, I don't know. He's such a good player, but also he's just like, he doesn't abide by the rules, which I like that too. There it is. Yes. All right. There we go. Strike out. Oh, it didn't work. I had the wrong drop. Damn it. Oh, man, that didn't work. Oh, anyways, I was going to do the applause here. But yes, Giants win. So there you go, guys. There's more photos and videos of Dave on that day they showed. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. Sorry, guys. I get too into it. But Giants won. Need every win. They came back because they were down 3-0 and they won 4-3. So I'm a happy guy now. Now we're going to have a good show. We're going to have a good show tonight for sure. So thank you guys, of course, for showing up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share, comment, do all that stuff. And we're going to be talking about, of course, David Corenswet being revealed, and we see him in all his glory. Well, not quite like that. He didn't do like a full frontal nude spread or something like that. But hey, you know what? That would put some butts in the seats if he actually did that. And then we're going to be talking about Zack, and we're going to be talking about some controversy because I posted a tweet about something. I wanted to talk more about that. We talked about it on the Vodka stream. I even talked about it with Thor Nye. Again, watch the Vodka stream. Great interview with him. And then we're going to talk about him talking about the, Justice League 2 and 3 animation, do all that. We're going to talk about the box office. Then we're going to talk about Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige, I think he's course correcting. Sad fact of the matter is when you course correct, it's going to cost money for sure. But at the same time, when it comes to the quality that Marvel Studios is now going to be putting out there, I think there's some high hopes when it comes to that. That's just my opinion. We'll talk about it because of one specific thing that he talked about when it came to CinemaCon. And, we briefly talked about CinemaCon on the Vodka stream. We kind of went through some things. We didn't talk about everything. But, there is some things, specifically when it comes to Marvel Studios, that I wanted to talk about tonight. So we're going to do that. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get to some tweets. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I had a pretty Pretty good. I mean, the past, you know, when it comes to the 4 days, I mean, yesterday, like Sunday was like my day to relax. I tell you. You ever have like, you know, because obviously you guys knew I saw Rebel Moon, and I haven't posted my first reaction yet, and I'm going to post it. Look forward to it tomorrow, because as you guys know, I went to the Rebel Moon fan screening / premiere, and we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about the, you know, the fact that, you know, I got this book right here. And, you know, I talked about it on the Vodka stream, of course. I got the photography, the portraits of Rebel Moon, all like Zack's like Rebel Moon awesomeness. Look at you in the back. We got Korra, the different sides of Korra right there, which is just so freaking cool. And everybody could buy that. And then, of course, you know, look what Zack put right there. Signature to Dave. And then he sketched out Jimmy right there. Look at that. Look at that. So freaking cool. But yeah. So it was nice to get that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, it was like Thursday. And then, of course, you know, had the Vodka stream on Friday. And it was like, oh, yeah, got a guest. Let's talk with him. And then Saturday, I ate so much sushi on Saturday evening, guys. I haven't had sushi in so long. But I met up with friends I hadn't seen in a bit. You know, it was like one of those nights. And also visited my mom that day. So Saturday was a busy day. You know, visited Mama Film Junkee, talked with her a little bit, and hung out with her, and then met up with friends, and then, you know, sushi, drinks, all that stuff. And then, you know, Sunday I was like, all right, cool. Now I can relax a little bit. And of course I saw Civil War, and you saw my first reaction. I don't really have anything more to add to my first reaction when it comes to Civil War. It's so funny because, I mean, I'm an Alex Garland fan, even though his last movie is one of those movies I'm like, do I need to watch it again? I don't think so. Did you guys see the movie Men? Alex Garland's Men? If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like one of those movies where you go, yeah, maybe I don't need to watch it again. When it comes to Civil War, it's like, yeah, I don't need a rush to watch it again, but I will watch it again because I really liked what he did in that movie. I did. And I can understand the discourse, and a lot of people were kind of worried, like, oh, with everything that's happening in the United States, we've been in a civil war for a bit, I would say. But, you know, not like this, you know, but like I said, I think I think to me, it was like a very long Black Mirror episode, and that's not a dig to it. That's a good thing because I love Black Mirror. It just felt like that because it was like, all right, this is the world. It's a dystopian future that could be our near future. And now we have characters within it that you're following. And it's a certain type of character. And I'm like, okay, I was all aboard, and I thought it was great. So check out Civil War. I enjoyed it. And very intense, very intense. All right, so let's go through some tweets here. What are we doing here? What do I want to like talk about here? Let's see. Going through. Well, we got this right here. You know, we do have this right here. We got a new Bad Boys Ride or Die trailer. Or not trailer, but poster. Sorry, I got distracted by the noise that just showed up right now. It's like, did I just get a new subscriber or something like that? I don't know. It didn't pop up. But anyways, I love how I'm like, you know, with the background, I'm like within Corenswet's like crotch right here. Yeah, there you go. I'm within his crotch. There you go. Anyways, there you go. Somebody clipped that. But yeah, we got a new Ride or Die poster right there. Miami's Finest, or now it's Most Wanted. Which, that's intriguing about Bad Boys Ride or Die, is the fact that it's like, oh yeah, you watch that trailer and now they're wanted. Ooh, okay. And yeah, O.J. Simpson died. O.J. Simpson died, guys. Yeah, that's right. O.J. Simpson died. Anybody sad about it? Crickets. I don't think anybody's really that sad about O.J. Simpson dying. I mean, there were some media outlets that were like, hey, you know, they were saying this and they were doing some positivity, but it's such a weird thing with O.J. Simpson because, yeah, before, you know, that whole little trial thing, that whole little thing that happened, he was cherished, you know. He was an athlete. And then part of the Naked Gun movies. Norbord, come on. But then, yeah, everybody just kind of goes like, how's this guy? All right. So when cancer finally took him over, it was just kind of like everybody went, okay, he's gone, you know? Cancer did it. It's just kind of one of those things. It was just one of those things where it's like, oh, wow, all right. O.J. Simpson died. And apparently, like, one of his last videos that he posted, because he was posting a lot of videos on, like, Instagram and stuff, and he assured his fans that, oh, yeah, I'm okay. So he lied to his fans, as he lied constantly, apparently, when it came to a lot of things. Anyways, it's all right. O.J. Simpson passes away at 76. I didn't even know he was that old, but, you know, finally cancer was like, all right, I got him, guys. I got him. It's just like, wow. Ooh, so this is interesting right here. We are Deadpool. Huh? Is this some promo art for Deadpool and Wolverine right here? Baby Deadpool. What? We got, of course, the dog. But you know what's interesting? What's interesting about this guy right here that I saw some people kind of going like, oh, when it comes to this like dead Deadpool, skull kind of Deadpool, people are, I mean, obviously he's wearing like a helmet with like one of those, with the propellers on the top of it. But a lot of people are kind of going like, hey, what if this is actually the Deadpool that we saw at the end of Wolverine Origins in that post-credit scene or that mid-credit scene where, you know, his head got lopped off? What if it's that Deadpool that they put in there and it's just, now it's a skull and they put it on there like that? So I don't know. I don't even know if I should be showing that. There's some promo stuff right there. It could just be all BS right there, but some people were posting about that and I was like, oh, that's intriguing. Obviously, they've been making fun of that whole thing, and with the last Deadpool, they big time made fun of the fact of the Baraka Deadpool that we saw in Wolverine Origins. Maybe that's that. And he's going to talk to it. He's going to talk to it, and they're going to talk. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Deadpool and Wolverine's just going to be absolutely batshit crazy, which we all knew. Whoa. Okay, so this is one of those that you go, whoa, cool, finally. And then you see who's behind it and whose idea it is, and you go, womp, fuck. God damn it. Why? Live action R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in the works from producer Walter Hamada. Why does it have to be him? Why does it have to be him? Huh? Why does it have to be him? That's the thing. It's like, that cocksucker's going to be doing this. So it's like, all right, so obviously it's going to be based off the Ronin book, where it's very much, it's adult, and I don't think anybody thought that would actually be I didn't think it would ever be a live action. It's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to do the VFX, or are they going to go old school like in the 90s and have dudes in the costume working that crazy mouth and everything? I think they should just do that. They should do practical and VFX. Do both when it comes to this. But I love the fact it's like, push it. Yeah, fine. But then when you see that guy's name, you kind of go like, it's Walter Hamada. Why does it have to be him? That's right. He's still around. He's still doing things. God damn it. But whatever. I mean, it's still a cool idea. I'll give it that at least. But does it have to be him? I know. And even Ray Fisher posted something, that came out of there. So, and you guys know I'm an Edgar Wright fan, and I'm warming up to Glenn Powell. I didn't, obviously it's like who's the douchey character in Top Gun Maverick. I really have not seen him in anything else, but I know he had a very, very small part in Dark Knight Rises, which is kind of funny because it was like, wow, he was in Dark Knight Rises. Yes, Glenn Powell was in fact in Dark Knight Rises. And then, of course, he was the douchey character. But then, of course, he ended up being good at the end when it came, just like how it was with Iceman with the original Top Gun. And I'm curious to see what happens when it comes to Twister or something like that. But we got Edgar Wright apparently doing an adaptation of Stephen King's The Running Man. And Glenn Powell is going to be starring in it. I mean, if it's Edgar Wright, I'm all for it. And, I mean, The Running Man, I mean, we've seen a version of it before, I guess you could say, essentially. It's the same one, right? I don't know. It's just one of those things where I was like, all right, Edgar Wright, anything Edgar Wright, I'm all about. So I'm for it. And it's crazy because Shaun of the Dead's like the 20th anniversary. It's been 20 years since Shaun of the Dead came out. I love that movie. That's still probably my favorite movie. Yeah, it is my favorite movie of Edgar Wright. You know, you got the Cornetto trilogy, which was Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and of course, what was the last one? Jeez, I'm totally like The End of the World, right? Something. What was it called? Jeez, totally drawing a blank. Somebody in the chat, help me. I mean, I know well, what the frick? I know, I'm totally drawing a blank right now. I watched that movie so many times, and I can't even remember what the hell it's called. Something, the world, yeah. I knew I had yeah. There you go. Thank you, Shane. The World's End. Yes, that's right. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is it called? The End of the World? Well, blah, blah. I just totally drew a blank right there. But it's a great trilogy, even though it doesn't tie to each other. It still has like the similar actors and everything. But yeah, Edgar Wright, always love him. He's one of my favorite directors. So yeah, The World's End. I was like, damn, just could not freaking remember that whole thing. Yeah, one of the things too, guys, anybody who's a DC Fanimated fan, first off, we've been doing DC Fanimated, which was originally called Batman the Fanimated stream, but now it's called the DC Fanimated stream that Scott McClellan and I do once a week. The reason why we haven't done new episodes is because scheduling has been a problem. Scott has his work schedule. I mean, it's kind of funny because when it comes to the DC Fanimated stream, we started doing it on Saturdays. And then we moved it to Sundays, which was like, all right, Sunday night's a good thing. Even though there was times where I'd be doing something Sunday and I'm like, I got to rush home and do a stream. So that was it was a little bit of a nuisance sometimes, especially when I was in a relationship. Anyways, and then we moved it to Thursdays. So the DC Fanimated stream has been on Thursdays because that's where it fit for Scott. And it was like, all right, this works. But now Scott, schedule change happened again. So now we're trying to figure out what day. And basically I'm trying to go by like what his schedule is and then my schedule as well. So we're still trying to figure it out. So yeah, DC Fanimated, it's been 3 years, which is crazy. And we're going to continue. But we just got to figure out where we're going to actually place this because it's just all about schedules, work, family, all this kind of stuff. So I'll let you guys know when it comes to that. Scott was on the Vodka stream on Friday, and we kind of joked about that too. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. All right, what else we got here? Scrolling. Oh, this is fucking cool right here. Did you guys see this? See, this is... Okay. This is why we love the internet. And again, I mean, as much as I'm like, oh yeah, I put my stuff on TikTok, but I wish like, it's TikTok, it's another thing, but it's also very big. And, there's the whole things behind it. But I mean, it's stuff like this when you see it on TikTok, and thankfully, obviously video, they could put it on somewhere else. But did you guys see this right here? This right here, somebody actually did, when it came to the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the opening, somebody made like a figurine version of this right here. I mean, look at this right here. So I mean, like, how that's so freaking cool. What the hell? Doing stop motion. That's amazing. I'm sorry, but that's amazing. I love that kind of stuff right there. Sometimes, I mean, that's what you find on there. Okay. Let's see. We got this right here. Hold on. Let me do this right here. We're going to be talking about some Zack Snyder. Hey, look at that. There's Zack Snyder and, of course, Clint Eastwood right there. Two goats. Two goats right there. I just thought that image was cool. Had to show it off a little bit, you know. Why not? And then, okay, so we got Saturday Night Live that happened over the weekend. Did anybody watch Saturday Night Live with Ryan Gosling? Ryan Gosling is just, I mean, when it came to his comedic chops, The Nice Guys is, I mean, it was my favorite movie of what, 2016 when that came out? And it was mainly because, you know, Ryan Gosling, oh yeah, he's pretty funny. He's dry, but he's funny. And then, of course, all the Ken stuff and everything. And you guys, I've said time and time again about my like feelings with Barbie, where it's like, yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't love it like everybody else did. But at the same time, it's like Ryan Gosling is really writing it. And what's funny about the whole Barbie thing and even Barbenheimer is the fact that two actors from those two movies are going to be in a movie that's coming out soon, which is The Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling, and of course Emily Blunt. And Barbenheimer is so big, and it was so big when it came to pop culture that they're still utilizing it, and it's probably going to be utilized from time, who knows how long Barbenheimer is going to be utilized to promote things. But Ryan Gosling hosting Saturday Night Live, his opening monologue, he starts doing like kind of like, you got to forget Ken, I'm just Ryan kind of thing. And then Emily Blunt comes in to just help out with it and sing along as well. And it was a great little, I'm not going to show the whole thing because I'll probably get, a copyright thing, but it was great. Look at that. He's wearing the freaking fur coat, everything. She shows up.
But it's not totally unrelated. I mean, I listened to this song in The Fall Guy while thinking about a breakup. I mean, I'm doing exactly what we talked
about. Jesus. Sorry about that. I was trying to hit a different button right there, but yes. So here they are right here.
No.
No. Look at you, you're kenning right now, and I hate that it's even a verb, all right? I resent that. Take the fur coat off. You're embarrassing yourself. Come on.
You're embarrassing yourself.
No. Guys, I don't mean to be harsh, but Ryan, you have to move on. It's time.
See?
I know.
Okay?
I know you're right.
Okay.
I just can't. 'Cause here we are again.
I mean, it's just like, it works. It works.
It was just out of reach.
I mean, come on. It works. Gosling is just like having such a good time when it comes to this. So much, I mean, and then you had this sketch right here. All right, Saturday Night Live, they've been, kind of missing lately, but it seems like they're coming back. And this sketch right here, and you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have probably seen it online, where Ryan Gosling is playing Beavis right there, but not exactly Beavis. He just looks like Beavis. And this sketch had me rolling. This sketch is absolutely hilarious. As they're doing an interview, and then and then you got it's ridiculous. And of course, we got Kenan Thompson right here.
Beavis, believe.
Yeah. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And look at that. They have the nose and everything, and they can't keep a straight face. They can't keep a straight face. Look at this. They can't even keep a straight face.
Do you mind moving?
I'm sorry? Me? You're talking about me?
So freaking good. And then, of course, when they move him, then you got the... I mean, absolutely hilarious if you're a Beavis and Butthead fan. And then they have, one of the cast members, and they freaking... That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what he did right here. Oh, man. And then she, oh, it's so freaking good. Because
Can't we just program?
Oh my God.
Watch.
I think that's a valid question.
She breaks
Behind
character.
you, that looks like Butthead.
Professor, just because our audience members aren't as informed on you does
Beavis' friend.
really would you like him?
Gray shirt.
See, she couldn't even keep a straight face because how ridiculous it was. It's so freaking. I mean, you always love it when the sketches. You always love it when the sketches, like when they break character because it's so ridiculous, so freaking good. And then of course, they had them sit together. I mean, but they were not doing like the whole they weren't But even Ryan Gosling could not keep a straight face. She's trying to keep a straight face. Everybody is trying to keep a straight face.
I don't know that you look like Beavis and Butthead.
It's so.
I've heard rumblings that I look like someone from TV, but it's just.
I mean, come on. That is so freaking hilarious, man. You know what? You know what's funny too? If you look at their shirts, I always found this funny because when I was a young lad, when Beavis and Butthead was big, I always because I'm just one of those people that I just look at details. Because when you watch the Beavis and Butthead cartoon, when you watch the show, Butthead is wearing an AC/DC shirt, and Beavis wears a Metallica shirt. It's the same colors, but they're wearing like AC/DC and Metallica on the show. But anytime there was like some kind of contractual thing, because it's like they could have the names of both of those bands on the show, but anytime that they like sold merchandise, like I had posters of Beavis and Butthead and they had the Skull and Death Rock shirt. And it was just because they didn't have the rights to use, they couldn't sell the merchandise with them wearing an AC/DC and Metallica shirt. It's like one of those weird things. So even right here, they did the whole Skull and Death Rock t-shirts as opposed to AC/DC and Metallica. It was like one of those weird things. And I remember even as a kid, when I had 2 Beavis and Butthead posters on my wall. And I asked my parents, I was like, why are they not wearing the AC/DC and Metallica shirt? But yeah, come to find out later, it's just because it was all about the rights and what they were able to use. They were able to use it within the show on MTV, but when you sold merchandise, you couldn't have them wearing AC/DC and Metallica, which is interesting. Interesting. Just saying. All right. So there's that. Ooh, okay. So we got some news here, guys. This is interesting from the New York Times. Coyote versus Acme. We might, there's a glimmer of hope, people, when it comes to this, because apparently, when it comes to this movie, hey, still available for acquisition, according to one Warner Brothers spokesperson. What? So, somebody at Warner Brothers is like, hey, this actually might... Oh, I probably can't even look at this article. Yeah, we want to look at the article. Fine. That's fine. We won't look at the article because it's behind a paywall. But yes, according to New York Times, Warner Brothers spokesperson is saying that, hey, guess what? There still could be a chance that Coyote versus Acme might see the light of day. Who knows? It's going to happen. Push the hashtag, guys, I guess, if you want to do that. But it just almost seems like Warner Brothers is going like, well, we've done this before, when it came to that certain cut of a certain Justice League movie. So why not just continue to push the process where the demand is there and maybe they can make something off of it? I don't know. But according to New York Times, I'm not going to have any high hopes. But at the same time, I'm just kind of going like, hey, look, I'll watch this movie day of. I think all of us would watch this day of. I'm a Looney Tunes fan. I've watched all the previous Looney Tunes live action movies. Both Space Jams. Second one was not good. And the one with Brendan Fraser, I watched that one when it came out. I've been surprised that there hasn't been more of these types of movies after Roger Rabbit was such a phenomenon. And I think it's just because it was such a hard thing to do. What's hard about doing like blending the whole actual IP of like Looney Tunes characters or cartoon characters with live action, it's got to be a hard task. You got to figure out a good script. And then, of course, I mean, back then, obviously, when it came to Roger Rabbit, and you see the behind the scenes of Roger Rabbit and how they pulled off all of that, it's amazing what they did. But then again, it's Robert Zemeckis, who's just a brilliant fucking director. how they pulled that off. And it was just so surprising that there wasn't more when it came to that style of filmmaking. There was other things. Do you guys remember Cool World? Anybody remember Cool World with Brad Pitt and Kim Basinger? Where this writer of an adult comic or a cartoon gets sucked into it, into the world. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that Cool World? That's a young Brad Pitt. It was like 1993, 94. I remember watching that, and I made sure my mom didn't know I was watching it. It wasn't like it. I don't even. Was it R-rated? I don't even know if it was R-rated or it was a hard PG-13. But I remember enjoying watching it because, whoo-wee, yeah. I will say, Kim Basinger, whoo. Oh boy. Oh boy. And is it a boy? Who knows? But guess what, guys? Our Superman, and I saw and even texted my good friend of mine who is a big-time Henry Cavill fan, loves him. I should have probably texted Mama Film Junkie, kind of wondering what she had to say about this. But yes, guys, guess what? Henry Cavill is going to be a daddy. And no, not the daddy that he already is. That's a joke. But yes, guys, Henry Cavill is going to be a dad. What? This video right here of him walking out. We don't have to have audio. With his girlfriend, Natalie. And look at this. They're walking out. He's doing press. Oh, look at that baby bump right there. What? Oh, we got a little Cavill coming out. We got a little Cavill coming. Hey, you know what? It was bound to happen, I guess, right? Sometimes you kind of wonder, you know? I mean, it's kind of funny, too, because, you know, our current Batman in the Elseworlds just had a kid himself, and it was like kind of wondering, I mean, like, I guess they're both just at that age, you know? You're pushing 40 or you are 40. It's like, hey, time for doing that. But yes, there was I saw a lot of ladies online that were just kind of going like, oh no, but it's just kind of funny. It's like, you know, it's like you could be happy for them, which I think it's mostly jokes and everything. But I remember like, yeah, it's just like one of those things. But yes, Cavill is going to be a dad. So congratulations to Henry Cavill and, well, his probably soon wife to be, Natalie. Congratulations to them. And, yeah. Got some good genetics going right there. So Henry Cavill, going to be a father. Going to be a father. And all the women weeped out there. Yes, they have. They did. They did. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. All right. Ooh, we got some art right here. Okay, so this is beautiful right here. I love this right here. And I've talked about him before when it comes to this artist, this concept artist that's out there, Job Hutz. And I've talked about it like when he did like David Corenswet in the costume and, of course, incorporating the new logo and making sure that looks all cool. And he had different variations, some with the undies, some not, some based on New 52, some based on other variations of the Superman costume. But now, this time, he has one that is for Supergirl and, of course, Amelia Alcock. Look at that right there. Beautiful. Skirt and everything, and that logo. This is pretty beautiful art right there. And I love how the sleeves, of course, go over the hands, over the top of the hands right there. The skirt looks great. And even like the gold right there looks great. This is probably one of my favorite Supergirl concept arts when it comes to Amelia Alcock right there. So yeah, there we go. Job Hutz right there. Just bringing in the goods. Bringing in the goods. Still wondering, though. Still wondering. The question is, are they going to go with the skirt or not? That's the thing, you know? And in times, you know, 2024, 2025, are they going to go with the skirt or not? I mean, they changed it when it came to Supergirl, you know, the TV show. It's like she just had the full-on suit. Are they going to go with the skirt or not? You know, we're in those times where it's like, I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, just thought I'd show you guys that. Oh, and then we got this. Everybody was wondering who was going to voice Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. rumors out there had it that it was going to be Hayden Christensen, which that would have been cool. That would have added to his little renaissance that he was having, especially coming back for, of course, the Star Wars shows when it came to Kenobi, and when it came to Ahsoka. It was like, okay, maybe they're gonna have Hayden Christensen voice Shadow, but no. Sadly, we just got somebody else who's just everybody loves. Not sadly, but thankfully, I guess you could say, because everybody seems to have a soft spot for Hayden Christensen. But let's face it, Keanu Reeves, yeah, we all love him so much. Yeah, Keanu Reeves is gonna voice Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. As much as I wanted Christensen, because I thought, that would have been cool, but I'm just going, hey, it's Keanu. Can't go wrong with that. You can never go wrong with Keanu Reeves. And so there you go. There's who's voicing Shadow. They finally released it. So now they're going to, we got to get that trailer that's going on so we can hear that voice. All right. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it when it comes to the tweets right there. So hopefully you guys are feeling good. Mr. Wick, that's right. Skirt needs to be just a little short. Wow, Ted. Ooh, a little shorter, huh? We got the real Neil right here. There are new photos of David on Twitter. No shit. There's actually more now? There's more photos? David, where can I find the David Corenswet photo? Well, you can, just, Matt, if you want to just type that in. I mean, we're going to provide them right here. I mean, I wish I had an actual source. Is there actually more? Are we seeing more? Let me see. I'm looking on Twitter here. Is there actually more? Oh, well, let's just add to it right here. Let's talk about our previous Superman. Look at this. I just saw this on my feed. There's our previous Superman. Look at him. God. I know. It still hurts the heart, but.
Hi, Henry. How are you? So good to see you.
You too.
You were amazing in this film.
Thank you very
And
much.
also, your mustache has been the talk of the night.
Right.
You win Best Mustache. So break down that
Best
grooming
mustache? Are you serious?
routine for me.
Well, I didn't know where to begin. So I just thought, I'm going to grow a wild beard, and I wanted to have a twirly-whirly mustache, and I was trying to do it, and I had a barber come in to fix my beard up, and I said, how do I get the mustache to do this? And he says, you've got to train it. And I said, what do you mean by train my mustache? And he gave me this wax, and he says, just keep on doing this every day, morning and night, and eventually the hair will want to naturally sit that way, and all you need to do is just keep on tweaking it. And so I did that for 4 months before the movie.
Wow. Was Natalie a fan of that?
Yeah, she thought it was cool. Yeah, I mean,
It's like it suits you.
It's a bit of an interesting look, but yeah, she liked it. I miss it.
Who had the biggest bromance on set? Because I could just feel the love between all you guys.
I don't know if anyone had the biggest bromance. We all got along really well, and it was just nice working with people who are professionals and wanted to get stuck in, weren't afraid of anything, because working with Guy can be a little scary at times. We'll have new dialogue on the day, new monologues and all sorts. Alex Pettifer had an accent change on his first day, and everyone just gets stuck in, and everyone does the job.
Well, you got another Henry Golding.
Yeah.
He's a super dad of 2.
Yeah.
You're on top of your game right now. Has he inspired you to take on fatherhood in your next chapter?
I mean, he didn't inspire me to do that. My parents did. But I'm very excited about it. And Natalie and I are both very excited. And so, yeah, I'm sure you'll see much more of that.
You're going to make a great dad.
Thank you.
You're so beloved. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm muted. Sorry, I was muted right there. I thought I hit the button, but still having technical thing. Yeah, he's just, like I said, he's too sexy. Too sexy. That's what I was saying. Too sexy. Cavill's got the chest hair out and everything like that. Jesus. So there you go. There's Cavill. But somebody, I'm not seeing anything with David Corenswet. But you're talking about, I think you were talking about last night, right? Which is what we're going to talk about. Which is what exactly we're going to be talking about. All right, so first off, all right, so let's go ahead and start getting into the topics here. So let's talk about, of course, what's going on with James Gunn right now when it comes to Superman. Well, we got him teasing, of course, Peacemaker Season 2, which, again, as much as I love the first Peacemaker, I don't think there should be a Peacemaker 2, but hey, there's a Peacemaker 2, and naturally, it's just like, James Gunn, so much riding on his shoulders, and I'm just kind of wondering, like, Jesus Christ, what's going on in his head and all the pressure that he has, because obviously he's running so much of the show, where the fact that it's like you're filming a Superman movie, which is supposed to set off the big, huge DCU slate that you announced, and it's supposed to start off this new universe, but also you're going to be showing up on the set, and then, of course, writing and all the stuff when it comes to Peacemaker 2, which was part of the old things, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Again, he's probably going to end up being bald after this. His hair already turned fucking super gray, but it's just pretty crazy. But yeah. So first off, there you go, right there. James Gunn, Season 2, happening right there. Took a picture, I guess, of John Cena right there with the reflective helmet. I will say Peacemaker has a good helmet. And then a lot of people are like, oh, I thought he was filming Superman. It's like, well, apparently when it comes to James Gunn, they don't shoot really on the weekends when it comes to Superman. Sometimes they do, sometimes they do. So he basically said that, yeah, sometimes, I'll have some free weekends, and then it's like, all right, now I'm going to go to the Peacemaker set. Like, again, the dude is like crazy busy and just crazy, just like looking over so many things while making a Superman film. A lot to write on Jimmy Gunn's right there, I'll just say. A lot riding on Jimmy Gunn's. But I'm just kind of, again, I'm just going, I don't need a Peacemaker Season 2. I just don't. I just don't feel like I do. I keep on saying that because I thought the first season surprised me. Great. Season 2, I don't really need. Concentrate on more of the new stuff. I don't quite understand it. I'm like, you have all this new shit that's going to be coming out. So why? Why even have a Season 2 of Peacemaker? But hey, whatever. I'm not in charge of DC Studios. Sadly, right? Probably should be. But anyways, David Corenswet. So anytime that we've been seeing David Corenswet in the past few months, ever since that we found out that, of course, he was playing Superman, everybody, of course, naturally is going to be doing that thing like, oh, he's going to start, he's going to be like bulking up here. We're going to start seeing some muscles. Everybody, like, we got to, like, we want to get a sense of what he looks like because obviously we haven't seen him yet. So anytime that he makes a public appearance, we're just like all eyes on David Corenswet. And basically anytime we've seen him out and about, he's got a hat on, he's got long sleeves, he's got a hoodie. He's just covering up. He's like, I ain't showing you my Superman physique or my Superman hair. But yesterday, guess what? We finally got him out in the open. I believe this is in Mexico, doing a shoot. We got full on sun out, guns out, hair out. There he is. Of course. Started seeing this right here, and I was like, "Oh, there it is. He's got shorts. We got some muscle tone. We got hair. We got everything that's going on. Whoa, there we go. We got video. We got video right here. Also, of Corenswet out there. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's doing something where I guess we'll see it later, but he's doing things to show off that muscular physique. We got him right there wearing a black button-up. Dude's fucking tall. He's even like, he slouches. I will say, he walks like with a slouch. So I wonder, obviously if he's Superman, he can't walk with a slouch, but he kind of slouches a little bit. But yeah, there he is, like throwing like some kind of heavy medicine ball thing. I don't know. Oh, yeah, and then, of course, we have this all happening right here. But then everybody was looking at this, too. Look at those triceps. Look at that shoulder game. Holy crap. But also, look at that hair. Man, they dyed his hair even more black than it actually is. That is some jet black hair right there. You could tell. You're like, wow. Okay, so they were like, you know what? Your hair's not black enough, Mr. Corenswet. It's gonna be pretty jet black. Which, you know what? To be honest, to me, the way I look at it, it's like it makes him more alien-like, makes him more Superman-like. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if like previous versions. I mean, previous versions of Superman, they probably took some liberties on making the hair a little bit blacker than it actually is. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people were commenting. There's people that are just talking about, no, he's not big enough. He's not big enough. He's not Cavill big. I'm like, he's not supposed to be Cavill big. That's the thing that is frustrating, and that's why I made the joke, because I remember when Robert Pattinson was revealed what he looked like shirtless, specifically when it came to him being Batman, I had arguments with people like, why do you care about his physique? Not all Batman are going to be like huge like Ben Affleck. Not all Superman are going to be huge like Henry Cavill. But at the same time, it's a little bit different because we have Mr. Corenswet right here who's like 4 or 5 inches taller than Henry Cavill. So he's like got a different kind of physique when it comes to all this. So it's like, yeah, maybe Cavill in the sense of body mass to height, especially in that scene, you know, in Man of Steel where he's out of the water and you see him and he's just like, you know, he's huge. Maybe it's not like quite like that, but it's still, compared to what we saw him like last year when he was like frolicking on the beach or just his natural build, dude's put on some serious fucking muscle. Serious fucking muscle. 20, 25, 30, who knows how much, how many pounds of muscle he's put on. Looking good. He's looking good. I will say that. But it's just like, okay, there it is, guys. There it is. Take it in. If you have a problem with it, I don't know what to tell you. You know, like I said, most of the time when and I was seeing it, of course, a lot where people were just like, that's it? That's all you're going to, he doesn't, that's not enough. And I'm like, what, wait, what? Christopher Reeve was not like a super huge dude. It's funny too because one of my friends that a friend that I met through like internet stuff. So we had conversations like he would say stuff like, why does Superman need to have like bulging muscles? I mean, if he's just Superman, it's like he doesn't need to have like big time muscle. I mean, like, because why? I mean, if he's just got super strength, does it need to be the aesthetic? And I'm like, well, there needs to be some aesthetic for sure, but at the same time, you have so many different variations. I mean, Brandon Routh, I would say he has more of a Brandon Routh build. Cavill was a little bit wider. I will say that. Yeah, Cavill was definitely wider and bigger. I mean, especially when you see that shot of Cavill when he's in the courtroom. I mean, his shoulders are just, it's just so, it's insane. It's almost like, what's his name? It's Rob Rayfield is like drawing him because, you know, he likes to draw big shoulders. But, you know, it's not the same Superman. So this is a taller, not as broader Superman. It's different. Just like how when it came to Robert Pattinson. And like I said, there's people like, it's like, that's it. I'm like, well, that seemed in this context of this Batman, that works. I mean, he's very much in shape. He's in more shape than probably most of us, as we see right here. But yeah, so I'm just saying that shot right there, though. This shot right here, I mean, he's really showing that shoulder and fuck. I mean, the arm game is strong with this one. Arm game strong with this one. Holy crap. Holy crap. Is everyone happy with this Superman? I'm happy with it, Patrice. I'm okay with it. I mean, as much as I, you know, miss Cavill and love Cavill, and he's my favorite Superman, I'm hoping that Corenswet ends up being my new favorite Superman. I'm one of those. I don't do one of those like, Cavill will never be topped. I'm never one of those. I'm going, no, I hope the next version is better. Just like I hoped that Robert Pattinson was going to be better than Ben Affleck. Turns out he wasn't, but still a very strong entry and still great. I'm always rooting for the next version to be better. That's what's supposed to be. You always just root for the next version to be better. I can't just like, because it's something new. I don't know. Nah, David is way bigger than Brandon. You think, yeah, he probably is bigger than Brandon. I don't know how tall Brandon is, so you always want, yeah, exactly. You always want better. I mean, yeah, it's again. I mean, I'm all about, yeah, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are my favorite Superman and Batman live action. My favorite. Still, but I always root for the next version to be better. Is it going to happen? Maybe not, but maybe so. I'm hoping that Corenswet might do it. From what I've seen, he's got good potential. When it came to Pattinson, I was like, okay, I'm not. I've watched other movies besides Twilight, so I was like, okay, I could see him potentially, but it didn't quite get there. It didn't quite get there. As much as I love the Batman, didn't quite get there. So, but I hope that Corenswet is. Oh, he's 6'4", so he's about 3, maybe 4 inches taller than Cavill. Yeah. Corenswet will gain more muscle in future films. Yeah, there'll be that too. I don't miss Cavill at all personally, and that's fine, nerdy. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, so Christopher Reeve, Brandon, and David are 6'4". Wow. So Cavill was the shortest, shortest movie Superman. I don't know, like when it came to TV shows. I don't know how tall Tyler Hoechlin. I don't know how much he is. He's an inch taller? I thought Cavill was 6'1", or 6 foot. Yeah, I thought Cavill was 6'1" or 6 foot. That's pretty. But see, that Tyler's 6'1". Okay, so I think Cavill and Tyler are both 6'1". I could have swore that Cavill was 6'1". Okay, so when it comes to live action, they're like the shorter ones. But they look like the more... okay, so Cavill is 6'2". Okay, so there's 4... It's only 2 inches then. Okay, interesting. All right, and then Ben's saying 6'1". I thought I read that he was 6'1". That he was 6'1", because I remember one of the things that... The reason why I know this is because I remember when Zack talked about how he wanted his Batman... He wanted his Batman to be taller than Superman. And Ben Affleck's like 6'4" also, I believe. So he wanted him to be taller. Dean Cain's 5'11", so he's the shortest one. All right, so there you go. So Dean Cain, 5'11", didn't even reach 6 foot. Almost there. Well, maybe in the boots he was 6 foot. So, yeah, there you go. So basically when it comes to the cinematic Superman, Cavill has been the shorter one. But he had the widest shoulders, though, like I said. The wider shoulders, like Jesus Christ. Again, you see that shot of him in the courthouse where he just does this and his shoulders are fucking 6'4". My God. Short King, that's right. I'm all about the short kings. Corenswet 6'4". So yeah, anyways, we don't need to argue about his physique. He looks great. He's gonna, stop arguing about this physique. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. I'm trying not to when I've had it in my mentions. I'm like, I don't want to do that when I did that with Pattinson. You know, there's different variations of these characters. They're not all going to be shaped the same. You know, and Superman, yeah, there's versions where he's just like a brick shit house, and then there's versions where he's just kind of just tall and lean and's got muscle. Cavill on the oil rig. Yeah, the Cavill on the oil rig, that was pretty insane. But that's Zack for you. See, Zack is all about the physique of both of his male and female characters. He's all about the physique. So it works for Zack. Maybe it won't work for, James Gunn, who probably has never worked out. Just kidding, Jimmy Guns. It's okay. I know your wife has worked out. Maybe James, lift a weight or two. You're looking a little too lean. Lift a weight or two. You're up there in age. It's always good to have a little muscle. It helps. Just saying, Jimmy Guns, just pick up a kettlebell or something, Anyways. And then speaking of Zack Snyder, oh boy. All right, so we got Zack Snyder right here, and it's just like 2 things I wanted to talk about, and of course we're going to be talking about more things because he's been getting interviewed, and of course Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, is coming out this week, and yes, I did see it. I'll post my first reaction tomorrow, and I'll probably just give my full review on the Vodka stream on Friday. And yeah, because like I said, it was like a weird thing when it came to the embargo. I was like, I don't know when I can fully talk about everything. You guys know I enjoyed it, and I will always say that. Yeah, and of course I was going to enjoy it. I'm biased. I can admit that I'm biased. I'm a Zack Snyder fan. He's one of my all-time favorite directors. Naturally, I'm going to like it. But, but of course I'll even give my critiques. I'll try to go on it as unbiased as possible. But one of the things I wanted to bring up. All right, so let's see here. Well, let's go through some things. First off, when it comes to, if anybody didn't see when I talked about it on, all right, so here we go. Scrolling. So yes, guys, I went to the premiere, not the premiere, but the whatchamacallit when it comes to, it wasn't even like technically a premiere, even though it was when it came to LA, but it was more of a fan screening. It was like something different. It wasn't like the big premiere, like when I went to the premiere for the first one back in December, and that was just absolutely batshit crazy. But here we go. I mean, obviously, I had to do some pre-gaming. So I was next door. So, a little shot of JMO. For some reason, they gave me an orange slice on top of it. Didn't utilize that orange slice, but whatever. So, I did that. Had some very delicious tacos. The tacos at this place, Barria's Tacos, just absolutely good. So fucking good. Oh, it was good. And there I am right there, posing in front of the Rebel Moon little logo right there. So... we got the Egyptian theater doors right there, too. And then, hey, there's the guy right there. There's the books. Whoa. It was just kind of funny. I just, snapped a picture real quick, and it was Zack. He was actually asking if he could pee. And that's the security guy. But it was just, kind of a cool picture that I, snapped right there. But that is Zack going, I actually have to go to the bathroom. He didn't pee before he showed up, so he had to pee. And then, of course, we had this right here. Yes, this right here. Zack signing the book that I showed you guys earlier. I know, I look like I'm hey, so you come here often? Huh? I look like I'm hitting on Zack. And then, of course, that's what he put. I showed you guys that in the book right there, so that was pretty sweet. And then, of course, them introducing. We got Wes right here. We got Debbie right here. Great to see them. And then this was the aftermath. And then this tweet right here. As you can see, and I talked about this, of course, on the Vodka stream, but as you can see right here, look at the views. Look at the views on this tweet right here. 639,000 views. Whew. Yeah, that tweet blew up. Because I was like, okay, when it comes to the director's cuts, we've heard things. We've heard Zack talk about it and promote it and kind of just be selling, I guess you could say, the director's cuts. And I know there's a discourse out there because they were like, why did they do it like this? But at the same time, Zack was all kind of for it. He's been talking about it. He even talked about it tonight. It's like, hey, you have a version that you can watch with the family, and then you got a version that you cannot watch with the family. And this was how, this wasn't this was paraphrasing. It wasn't exactly the quote that Zack said, but I thought it was interesting. And that quote was the fact that it said, the director's cuts are the alternate universe of Rebel Moon. Even if the actor says the same line, we used a different take for a slightly different performance. What? So when I posted that, I was like, all right, I'm going to post that with that image. And I was going, that might get some traction. Didn't think it was going to get that much traction. Oh, it was a fun day on Friday when I was just reading all the crazy quote tweets and everybody was just losing their minds when it came to that. Even big accounts just losing their mind because I think they took the whole alternate universe label a little too literally. Yes, because it's not like it's a multiverse thing. Thank you, Marvel. You poison the brains of all these people that when you hear alternate universe, you just think it's a multiverse kind of concept. But alternate universe, that's every director's cut. That's really it. It's not alternate universe as in he built in an alternate universe where there's going to be multiverse kind of universes in Rebel Moon. He was just explaining it in that kind of way. So it was nothing different than what he's actually said before when it came to that. But the thing that he added was, yes, he did mention that, in fact, guess what? Instead of using the same take of the same line from this character. We're going to use an alternate take just to change it up a little bit more. And that has happened also many times. You fucking weirdos out there. I mean, come on. Just don't take it so literal. And the fact of the matter is like, how many times have you watched even like a director's? How many times, for instance, one of the things that I thought about when it came to alternate takes, one of the things that ring in my brain, and again, this goes back to, I mean, like I even told you guys when I was talking about the Beavis and Butthead things and the shirts. For some reason, I'm like one of those people that I just look at things and I go, wait, that's not right. Why is that the case? I don't just like look at it and go, oh yeah, that's 100% right. One of the things that I was really remembering, especially when I was seeing all the craziness that was happening with this tweet over the weekend, I was thinking about Dumb and Dumber. And if you guys remember, I mean, if anybody can remember the very first trailer, maybe you could find it online. But there were like, and even in the movie, okay, so specifically when it came to Dumb and Dumber, they like fucked with it before it went out on video. They did alternate takes that were in the theatrical to home video. There's alternate takes specifically when it came to Jim Carrey, Lloyd running out onto the jetway and falling down. If you're actually to watch that first trailer, it actually shows the take that they use initially in the movie. And, you know, he goes like, I'm a limo driver. And then, of course, he falls off the jetway. When you see him, when they show the shot of him, like, on the ground, he's face down. And he's like, eh. But when you watch it now, he's face up. Because they realize, yeah, it doesn't make sense. If you flipped over, it doesn't make sense that he be face down. Again, this is my brain, and maybe it's some kind of Mandela effect kind of thing. But I just remember, like, there was an alternate take when he said, I'm a limo driver. He did it differently when I first saw it. Because I saw it in the movie theater probably like twice or three times because I was obsessed with Jim Carrey when I was a kid. But when it came out on video, I was like, it's different. And they fucking changed it up. So technically, hey, alternate reality? Sure. But that's the whole thing. Is like people took that way too literally. And I think what they're trying to do. And one of the things that I was actually going to do a follow-up tweet, but I decided not to, but I'm going to say it right here. One of the things that Debbie expressed when it came to the director's cuts of Rebel Moon is when we finally get to see the director's cuts of Rebel Moon, it's like when the movie starts, when part one starts, it's not going to start the same way that the first one did. There's going to be something that's going to set up and then it's going to lead into what we've kind of seen already, and it's going to set a different tone. It's going to set a different tone. She was expressing that during the Q&A as well when it came to all this. And that's why Zack kind of was like, yeah, it's kind of like the alternate universe of Rebel Moon. Set a different tone. Why not just use a different take? And I think, you know what? Again, time will tell. I keep on saying time will tell if this strategy is actually going to work for everything. Because Zack is that guy. But sadly, there's a lot of people out there that just go like, Zack can't make a good movie. I saw so many tweets for that tweet that kept on saying, why can't he just make a good movie first off? It's like, he tries. He tries. Have you not been paying attention? The motherfucker, he's tried to make a good movie right off the start. But the studio always goes, nope, you can't do that. Take that out, take that out, take that out. He's tried to make that. And it's always the better movie. We're still waiting for the actual cut of his for Sucker Punch. He's always, his director's cuts are always better, but the fucking studio always. So now we're doing the different thing where Netflix is like, no, we're going to do both. We're going to do this. Now, is it going to work overall? That's what we're going to find out. And by the way, guys, yes, Dan Lin, you know Dan Lin, who is now running the film department of Netflix? Yes, he was there. I saw him. I peed next to him. I peed next to Dan Lin. That's right. Went to the bathroom. Went to the urinal. Guess who was peeing right next to me? Dan Lin. I should have said like, hey, what's going on, man? Rebel Moon Part 3. Planet of the Dead. You better greenlight that shit. Please. I want to pee on your fucking leg. Yeah, so Yeah, Dan Lin was there. Saw him. Anyways, and yeah, I peed next to him. So there you go, guys. That's some more of the story when it comes to Thursday. But we got something else too. We got so much Zack Snyder stuff. So much Zack Snyder stuff tonight. Well, first off, okay, so we got this. Ooh, Zack Snyder. Yeah, I mean, especially, it's almost like sometimes you kind of go like, is he seeing like what's going on in the news? Like, especially when it comes to Superman and everything, and David Corenswet and all that stuff. But Zack Snyder on Vero posted this right here, another shot of Cavill as Superman. This is, okay, so saw this in my photos today, but if you guys look closely, this is before they put the yellow in the emblem on the Superman costume. This is before that. You could see that the S does not have the yellow in the background. It's transparent. Because at one point, and I think it was a studio thing, Zack didn't want to have the full-on yellow in the background. I think he wanted it just to have it where it was like it was nothing in the background, and it was just basically the base of the suit in the background. So many times we've seen, even like with the costumes, like, and I think it was just something that, like, no, you have to have that, you have to have the yellow in the background for the emblem. But right there, you could just see that there's no yellow in the background. So we got that right there. Now, let's see, where is that tweet? He also talked about how he's excited for his son to be embarking as a filmmaker. And, of course, he was the second unit director when it came to Rebel Moon. So there's some shit in there. There's some stuff in Rebel Moon that Eli Snyder also directed. So should have had this up already, but I'm like trying to find it. Where's it at? I can't find it. Where did I put that? Was it before? Where was it? I think it was before this. Come on, where is it at? Should have had it like bookmarked. Can't find it. Guess not. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there we go. So when it comes to completing Justice League 2 and 3, now, we've been talking about this a lot, and then, of course, there's the whole thing when it comes to, there's a hashtag out there that says sell it to Netflix, and I know there's some interesting things happening when it comes to our dark side, which, I get them like, okay, cool. Ray Porter's going to tweet that out and stuff like that, even though, like, I put my tinfoil hat on because there is something very interesting on something like when it comes to inconsistencies, when it comes to what is going on with that. Hopefully it's not what my tinfoil hat is actually thinking, but that's besides the point. That's out there. Fine. Perfectly fine. You guys know how I feel about the hashtag. It's like, all right, I don't even know what the hell, how that's going to be even possible or anything like that, because there's no way that even if it were to go to Netflix that all the actors would come back. When would Zack actually find time to actually film two big, giant Justice League sequels that would probably be a 3 to 4 year process when he wants to do Rebel Moon Part 3. He wants to do Planet of the Dead, and he wants to do other projects as well. So to take like 3 to 4 years to try to do full-on Justice League 2 and 3, and then have all the actors who are doing their own thing. Cavill has a kid on the way. Cavill has a franchise that he's starting over on Amazon. Cavill has another franchise with Highlander. Ben Affleck has a studio that he's now running with Matt Damon and making movies. Gal Gadot, been part of controversy. Ezra Miller, controversy. I mean, Jason Momoa, of course, would be down, 100%. It's just a lot of things would have to, there's just, it's like almost, it's just like, it's just impossible at this point now. But we got this. Zack Snyder said he would absolutely love to complete his Justice League and Snyderverse trilogy in animated form in an interview with Empire Magazine. That be fun. Yes, we've already heard this too. That's the thing. We've already heard that. He said this on the vodka stream. He has said it on the vodka stream that he's even pitched that. And hopefully one of these days it will actually happen. Please. Because That would be ultimate freedom. If you did it in an animated form, he would probably not have to be like so hands-on. Not to mention, I mean, again, if you were to break it down of how long it would take. First off, pre-production would be at least a year because they would have to do locations, set builds, all this kind of stuff. So that would be a year pre-production, at least. Shooting, if you were to shoot both Justice League 2 and 3, 9 months at least, probably 9 months for shooting, especially when we know certain details in these sequels and how crazy it gets, especially with the last one. It's supposed to be this crazy, you know, I mean, obviously when it comes to storyboards, of course, things were going to be tweaked, but it'd be crazy. It'd be absolutely crazy. So that would be like another year of basically production. And then, of course, you have post-production. Would it be another year? VFX, all that stuff. Again, this is like, okay, use the hashtag. I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. I've always said, use whatever hashtag you want. That's fine. I'm not going to use it because I'm thinking logically, and I don't think that's going to be the case. It sucks that there are people that run that are like that champion, that are the head voices of that basically will always go to like, they'll go to like these events and just try to get Zack to try to say something like to gaslight their fucking followers. Like, it's going to happen. It's like, what? He's a nice guy. He's not going to be a dick and say like, nah, that's just too much impossible and stuff like, no. But at the same time, he's very much open to this right here. And I hate it when I see fans go, no, live action or nothing. I'm like, well, you're an asshole. If you're saying live action or nothing, when the director himself is like, yeah, that'd be cool if we could do it in animation, and you're like, nah, live action or nothing. Fuck you. You're selfish. You're selfish because, again, you want them to do what you want. You want them to be like, no, you have to give me what I want. It's like, no, they want to do what they want, which is doing other things. So if they end up doing like an animated conclusion, that would actually be a lot more freedom. And not all the actors, again, would come back. So if you do it animation, you can hire a voice actor that could sound like any of the actors that doesn't come back. Not to mention it would probably be cheaper if they don't do that. So it's all, like I said, there's a lot of money things, a lot of things that are happening when it comes to that. I don't know. It's interesting. It's all very interesting. We just got to get, it's just one of those things. But like I said, if you, I'm not saying stop using a hashtag, whatever, that's fine. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I've always said that. Use whatever hashtag you want. I'm not trying to do that. And I've been accused of gatekeeping so many times in the past. It's funny, but I'm just looking at it logically, and I'm going like, okay, if we could actually end up seeing a conclusion to this thing, it's not going to be live action. It's going to be either like an AI thing, which is, there's already shit out there like that, or it's going to be animation, or it's going to be in books. Nothing wrong with that, Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, right? So Zack is willing to compromise? Damn, I know. See, I mean, that's the thing. We could all make that joke too, like compromise. See, that's the thing. It's like, again, and one of the things that I always that we've talked about too is like the fact of the matter is, if Warner Brothers just let the man do his fucking thing, we would have already had that Justice League trilogy, and it would have already wrapped up, and everybody just would have been off, and they would have been rebooting anyways, and it could have been hugely successful and everything. Who knows? There are, of course, people that think otherwise, naturally, because they hate Zack Snyder. They hate him with a passion. That whole weird thing. I don't understand it. I'm like, why? I mean, he's like the nicest guy in the world. It's just so weird. But yeah, but if Zack is saying like, yeah, animation or books, support. If you're a Zack Snyder fan, support that. Don't be like, nah, live action or nothing. No compromise. It's not up to you. You're just a dude. You're just somebody that's at home pounding your keyboard. He's the one that has to fucking make it. Okay? And again, if he were to make those sequels, that's a 3 to 4 year process. Time that he doesn't really have. That he would not really have. And as well as the actors. Anyways, man, I went off on a lot on that one. Figured I would. I mean, Especially when that tweet went like fucking crazy, when people were just taking the whole alternate universe and everything so freaking seriously. It's like, wow. It's like, okay, he's doing something different where it's like he's known for his director's cuts. So it's already built into the whole thing. And I don't know. It's just like pretty crazy. Anyways, box office. Who saw Civil War over the weekend? Some people did. I saw it yesterday. I had to catch it. I mean, obviously Thursday I went to the Rebel Moon screening. So I was like, all right, I got to watch it. So I watched it yesterday. And, you know, you saw my first reaction, and I went, wow, this movie was definitely intense. I'm an Alex Garland fan, and I thought when it came to this story and everything, and the cinema, everything, performances, there's a lot of things. But yes, there's going to be some unconventional things that you might be like, oh, I don't really like that. And sure enough, a lot of people don't like that. I think in this day, especially in 2024, with an election coming out this year, there's a lot of polarizing things out there. There's a lot of it's all just crazy right now. So everybody wants to go into this movie thinking that this movie is going to take a side when it doesn't really take a side when it comes to right and left, which I totally fucking hate. I'm so tired of that. But anyways, it made number one over the weekend, $25.7 million. And that's it. No international. Who knows if it's going to get an international release, but $25.7 million. Not too shabby. Godzilla Kong sits at $437.9 million. This puts Warner Brothers into the $1 billion range in 2024. They are leading the pack. We've already talked about that before. When it comes to studios, look at that. Warner Brothers leading the pack this year. Now, granted, Disney and Marvel Studios haven't released anything yet. And of course, Deadpool and Wolverine is probably going to blow them out of the water, but who knows? But yeah, right now, Warner Brothers has just crossed $1 billion at the box office, specifically, obviously, when it comes to Dune Part 2 and Godzilla Kong. So, milestone, I guess. Hey, I want Warner Brothers to come back. I mean, I'm now wanting Zazie Pants to just, like, go away. But, hey, maybe they'll get back to where they need to be. I don't know. Fucking Hollywood is such in shambles right now. There's so many things. It's like, ugh. Which is one of the things I want to talk about when it comes to this guy. When it comes to this guy right here. Kevin Feige. When it comes to Kevin Feige. He has struggled the last 5 years, I would say. Ever since Endgame came out, it's been a struggle for Kevin Feige. Good thing he already lost his hair, because if he had a full, thick head of hair, it'd be gone by now, because you built this empire that dominated the 2010s, dominated the box office in the 2010s, and changed Hollywood to the point where it's like, yeah, we're in this kind of predicament right now. I mean, it's not fully his fault, and it's not really his fault in general, because, like, hey, they just made these movies and they made a lot of money. But yes, it did change the industry for sure, because it's like, oh yeah, now everybody's trying to do their Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everybody's trying to do that. Everybody's trying to do the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it comes to their universes, and these studios are just banking on those more than trying to give a chance to something new. But I'm hoping there's going to be some kind of turnaround when it comes to this. But Kevin Feige, obviously we had CinemaCon that came out, and a lot of good things. There's some good things that came out of there talking about certain things. But there's one specific thing before talking about Captain America, Brave New World. Now, a lot of people are just kind of wondering what's going to be happening with this. We got Anthony Mackie, we got Falcon Captain, that a lot of people are just kind of like, I don't know if I'm excited for it. I'm not excited for it. I'm just like, I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was fine. Enjoyed it. But I was just kind of like, all right, now we're going to move forward. I was always like, I mean, Sam was like a cool character, but he was like more, side character. We'll see what happens. But then, of course, we've been hearing like the fact that the production has not been great when it comes to Brave New World, because apparently they're going to be doing all kinds of reshoots and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think it's because Kevin Feige, just like what happened with Daredevil Born Again, is going, people like what came before. When it came to Daredevil, they were trying to change it up and lighten it up and do all this stuff, and it wasn't working. And then he decided, axe that, we're going to redo it, rewrite it, and we're just going to continue the Netflix show because that's what everybody wants. They don't want Daredevil doing the walk of shame after boning She-Hulk. They didn't want that. They want that. And when it came to Captain America, it's like, all right, what do we want here? What do we want here? So one thing that I took away when it came to Kevin Feige on stage talking about things was this right here. Talking about the best, which, yeah, it's not an objective thing, but, you know, pick your poison. But I would say that a majority of us think that Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie.
But about 10 years ago, almost exactly 10 years ago, we released a movie called Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Yes. And in the 10 years that has gone by, that movie, we've made 20, 25 movies since then, it really has stayed with the fans, with the audience. And I think that's for two reasons. One is the genre. It is a fast-paced political thriller. It's got big stakes, but there are no aliens, no alien invasions, there's no time travel. It is a relatively grounded action film. And the other thing is it introduced the world to Sam Wilson, played by the great Anthony Mackie. That is what we're doing this coming February, is a film that is another fast-paced, relatively grounded, I say relatively because it is a Marvel movie, grounded action thriller. And in the many, many years since that, Sam Wilson has taken on the mantle of Captain America. Captain America: Brave New World, coming out February 14th. Ladies and gentlemen.
2/14, how dare he? All right, so it almost seems like, okay, did they realize that, okay, what they were trying to do when it came to this Captain America movie, that they were going a little too stupid Disney, Miss Marvel ridiculousness, and they're like, you know what are we doing here, folks? We got to go back to what people are liking, and they're liking the more grounded characters, as grounded as you can possibly put the characters. I mean, obviously, like he said, I mean, it's as grounded as you could possibly get it, but it almost seems like with Daredevil and with this, they're just, Kevin Feige's going, we got to go back to what people actually like. We went off the reservation a little bit. But the backfire of that, though, is inflated budgets and adding to the problem that is the Hollywood implosion that is happening when it comes to these big budgets. And that's the thing. So it's like, it's a good thing story-wise, and we're going to get hopefully some good movies and some good shows now that they're going, hey, wait a minute, we kind of fucking went off into the wrong direction. Now let's course correct. But at the same time, it's costing millions and millions of dollars to do so. We'll see what happens with the aftermath of this, but I mean, it's just adding to that Hollywood bubble that's just like, it's like it's about to explode or something like that. I don't know. Pretty crazy. But that's what I wanted to talk about when it came to that. Also what I wanted to talk about too when it came to, so when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, okay, so the marketing, again, I cannot wait for the marketing to kick into full gear, and apparently they're going to be doing something that was shown at CinemaCon that's going to be actually shown in movie theaters to make fun of those Nicole Kidman AMC stupid, God, after seeing 25, 26, 27 minutes of trailers and commercials, and then all of a sudden you get that Nicole Kidman commercial for AMC, and then it's like, Jesus Christ, just show the freaking movie. But apparently, when it comes to Deadpool, they're going to be doing something just like that. Deadpool and Wolverine plotting bleeped in theater spot asking people to silence cell phones. A test run of the humorous ad screened last week at CinemaCon, where theater owners were also treated to Disney execs and top talent getting corrupted by Deadpool and dropping a slew of F-bombs. That's right. Nicole Kidman has reigned supreme at movie theaters since 2021 when she and AMC revealed an instantly memeable spot for a We Make Movies Better, which urged consumers to return, of course, do all that. Now, another topic of utmost concern of exhibitors might be getting some high wattage star treatment, those darn people who won't silence their cell phones when the movie is playing. Last week, and of course, talked about that, and basically, you're going to have Deadpool saying, yeah, shut off your fucking phone. Please do that. That would be good marketing because you'll see it in front of like, I mean, obviously they're not going to do it in front of a, family movie or something like that. It's going to be in front of like R-rated movies. So I'm like, yes, do that, please. I cannot wait. I just really cannot wait for the marketing for Deadpool to just like ramp up so much. It's going to just be great. There's good ideas, and that's a good idea right there. Put that in there as opposed, and make fun of the Nicole Kidman AMC whole like movies and whatever the hell. Do that with Deadpool? Yes, please. Anyways, all right. So there's that. There's all the topics right there. That's everything I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, it just seems like that Kevin Feige is doing his best to correct course. He's trying to correct the course of where they veered off. And I think when it comes to Deadpool, it comes to Daredevil, and then possibly even Captain America, that they're like, hey, let's get back to the shit that people like. People love Deadpool. We're not going to fucking water it down. Daredevil, they liked a Netflix show. Let's go back to that. Captain America, everybody talks about Winter Soldier to this day, a decade later. Let's make sure that this new Captain America is like that. I mean, you're probably going to have Red Hulk in there, right? General Ross? Harrison Ford? You're going to have that in there, right? I don't know. Maybe they won't. That would be crazy if they decided not to. But at the same time, he talked about how, like, Winter Soldier didn't have time travel, didn't have alien invasion, didn't have that. So, I mean, they could still do that. I mean, technically, it's still a super soldier, right? It's all about the super soldier stuff. All right. Let's see what we got here when it comes to the Twitter questions. All right, just making sure there's nothing bad in there. You never know. All right, let's see. Eric, speaking of animated Justice League 2 and 3, just talked a lot on how often Robert Zemeckis has broken the mold, but we should also look at Hideo. Yeah. I'll of course butcher his name, especially Last Stand. When it comes to the technology, yeah, I mean, they could utilize some technology that makes people look like people, but those people have to sign off on that too. I mean, it could be. He does have a lot of options. But I mean, if you do something where Jay Oliva just directs like some kind of animated movie, I'd be okay with that, or animated 2 movies, whatever. By the way, I've brought more and more of the live action or nothing folks around. Good. As animation gets more and more realistic, it'll be the perfect cheat filled with innovation. Not a compromise at all, but just the opposite, and more they go, yeah, you got to go with the technology. Especially, I mean, like anytime, even when I tweeted that out about like, yeah, when I tweeted, I was like, yeah, what he said right there. I saw some people like, yeah, it's not my preferred way I want to get the rest of the Justice League story, but if that's all I'm going to get, I'm down. And I think a lot of people just realize that, it's not logical that it can continue live action. But you're always going to have like some people out there that are just going to gaslight other people that, yeah, it's going to happen. Hey, we got Droga right here working on a Marvel Snyderverse at the moment. So we got Iron Man right there, looking pretty good. We got Cappy pants. Look at those abs right there. That looks cool. We got the Hulk, of course, looking good. And we got Black Panther. I like it. Good job, Axel. I dig it. Hello, Dave. This animation is... Oh, oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so the running joke, this happened on, this is the last Friday's Vodka stream. So Scott got a new camera a while back, and when he does certain motions, it creates an animation. And usually, like, when he's talking, like, his thumb will go up, and it'll bring up a thumbs up bubble. Sometimes it's brought up fireworks. But this is what happened. This is what happened on Friday when he was doing like almost like the heart thing. All right, we don't have audio, but hey, this is what happened. He was doing that, and then look at that. look at Phil. He just starts cracking up. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. So it's just funny. It's a fun little joke that's been happening with Scott's camera. Devon Wooter, hey Dave, are you a big fan of Damian Wayne? Do you think James Gunn will make people care about his character? Well, he has to. I think it'll be intriguing for people who don't know that it's Bruce Wayne's kid. And I finally watched Mission Impossible 7, fantastic movie. Do you have your favorite scene? Well, that scene right there where he jumps the bike, that's a pretty good one. The new Jurassic Park, do you think it's going to be a move release date? Yeah, if there's no way that it's going to make that release date. They're going to move that release date for sure. Adrian, do you still have faith in the MCU? Yes, like I said, that was what the whole last topic was about, was the fact that Feige seems like he's trying to course correct a little bit, but at the same time, it's going to cost him a bunch of fucking money. I definitely do with either both Spider-Man and Daredevil. Hopefully we get something like this or hopefully, oh yeah. You can't be stupid. You have to have, you already teased, Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. You have to have them both. You have to have a Daredevil and a Spider-Man sequence somewhere. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question number 1. Regardless of how Joker 2 performs, will that universe end with it then? Matt Reeves does the Batman Part 3, releases it, and Elseworlds live action end? Yeah, that's what's interesting. I don't know. It depends on, I guess you could say, Saffron and Guns, Question 2, with Superman logo officially revealed, will people truly have an opinion on it depending on how it looks on the suit when we get that reveal? People have an opinion on everything, of course. And there are people that hate it. I saw somebody call the emblem a potato, like a what did they say? It's a tortilla chip logo. They called it a tortilla chip logo. I was like, that's different. Question 3, should Galactus be saved as the big bad of the MCU saga? I mean, yeah, we've talked about that too, but I mean, he's so much a part of the Fantastic Four, and since they're in a different universe, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Kenny, hey Dave, for me, despite a few creative challenges, issues, and pitfalls, DC TV and the Arrowverse was so great, especially the early seasons. I'll agree with you on that. I was all about the early seasons. These shows, along with Smallville, got DC live action right in the modern era. Plus, DC TV gave us the best shows since Smallville and Stargirl. I still haven't seen Stargirl. I've only seen one season of Superman and Lois. And yeah, I don't know if Stargirl doesn't seem like it's my thing, but Very excited for Superman 2025. Dave, man, this is going to be good. Looking forward to more news. Yeah, and there's going to be plenty of news. I know we're not the biggest fan of Supergirl show, but for me, I loved most of it. But Melissa Benoist was she was a great Supergirl. I will say that. Jamon Watson, the funny thing, I guess you would say that the side of the fandom says live action or nothing, but when Zack wanted to finish it in animation, they will continue to say live action or nothing. If Zack wants it, let him. He can. Yeah, exactly. It's like, are you guys Zack Snyder fans? I don't think they're actually Zack Snyder fans. I think they're fans of themselves, to be honest. And they think they can move mountains. Mr. Nobody, yeah, I'm totally down for Zack Snyder's animated Justice League. Obviously, it would have been better as live action, naturally, but I'll take what I can get as long as the story gets complete by the artist, 100%. Gary, breaking news, every superhero suit has a muscle suit inside. It's true. And most likely, Corenswet's going to have a little padding too. They all do. I mean, you could blame Tim Burton in Batman 89. That's what kind of started that, right? Because Christopher Reeve, his suit was not. That was him. There was no real padding in those suits. There might have been like some things that molded around his muscles, little thin whatever the hell, but it was basically just cloth on his muscles right there. But yeah, there's always going to be a little bit. I guess Cavill's suit had some too. They added a little bit more, which I thought looked cool because it made him look more alien-like with the chrome that was underneath to give it that little more sheen, a little more shine to it. That's why, as much, it's like I always like kind of look at the Man of Steel suit, which didn't really have that, and then you have the BVS into Justice League suit where it just got a little bit more crisp, where I'm like, I think I might like that just a little bit more. It's like it's still very much the Man of Steel suit, but they just made it a little bit more crisp or something. But there's always going to be padding and all this stuff. Obviously, every Batman suit has padding because he needs it. But everything just always going to have like certain kind of padding. But yeah, there's going to be padding even in Corenswet's suit and even the new Batman and all that. You got to make them look like how they look in the books as much as possible, I guess, right? Anyways, all right, guys. That's it for today's show. Man, I went off almost a 3-hour show. If I wasn't late, it would be. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Thank you for, of course, spending some time with me. I always like talking about this stuff. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like, thumbs up, comment, share, do all this, everything. And yeah, like I said, become a member if you want to support the channel. If you want to support the channel, do that. We do a members only stream after every Wednesday stream. I'm glad the stream didn't cut out today. That's always a good thing. And yeah, look forward to just more stuff on the channel tomorrow. Follow me on Sock Meds. You can support the channel also on the Patreon. I try to do some exclusive stuff over there. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday to talk about more nerdy nonsense. Love ya. Talk to you later.